Alright, we are back following the storyline. We are just to the northwest of Camp Drybone at the Church of Saint Adama Landama, talking to Eluned, who we've talked to before. I think we were trying to bury those that needed burying. Bringing out the dead is this quest. I recognize you now, Mercy. Allow me to express my deepest condolences for those who lost their lives in the attack. I apologize if discussing this upsets you, but you should know that the bodies of your comrades are presently being removed from the waking sands and prepared for transport here. If you wish to leave this work to others, I understand. However, taking part might help you find closure. Okay. I will transport the dead of those that I got to know and love. Eluned. If that is your recommendation. While we're here, hold on, companion. No, I have no more skill. Okay. Nedrick Ironheart has yet another quest for us. Going for gold. I can't take 2 steps around this place without hearing mercy this or mercy that. Why, it's as if you're some kind of God's damn hero. But I jest. Even I can see that you're just itching to find a new battleground to hone your skills. Fortunately, I know just the place. The Aurum Vale. Head southwest through the central highlands of Corthus and seek out a man named Willielmus. 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 And tell him that Nedrick sent you. Okay. That's over in Corthus. Okay, next time I go to that area, I'll do that. Vesper Bay Shopkeep is a Rogadin. Wearing kind of darkish red clothing and kind of blackish brownish skirt, sandal. Oh no, he's got boots, dark boots. He's got a headband on, turban hound. You don't seem like one of them church fellows. Not that I'll turn you away, no sir. As you can see, we've got a pile of unidentified bodies over yonder. No one's come to claim them, so off to the lich yard they go. Be thankful you didn't have to go inside and see the carnage for yourself. It was the stuff of nightmares, I tell you. God's damn Imperials, and he spits. I don't know what quarrel they had with these folks, and I sure as hells don't want to know. The sooner we put this behind us, the better. Say, ain't I seen you round here before? Or do you just have one of them faces? Never mind. Any road, there's a carriage come to haul the bodies to the lich yard out by the east gate. There's only 8 left to load up, but seeing as I'm exhausted from carrying all the others, I've a mind to leave the remainder to you. You might want to cover your nose while you work. Some of these folk are starting to turn. There is, in fact, a... not pile. They haven't put the bodies on top of each other, but there's a fallen scion that is a Rogadin. I click on it. It's going to take a while because he is a large... he was a large person, as Rogadins are. There's a green-robed Elzen looking person, I believe. There is an Elzen kind of with white vest and darker pants, but not a lot darker, black boots. And there's a Lalafell wearing a large kind of kite shield on his back and sword. Those are the ones we have gathered at this point. The Chocobo music at this point seems ill-timed. The disconcerted coachman. If you picture the Zeppelin the airships that we ride from town to town when we need to, it's kind of like that, but it's got the air. It looks like it has balloons, maybe just to reduce the weight for the Chocobos to pull, but it is a land vehicle. What happened to the big fella? Forget it. Just bring the next batch and toss him in the back. Ain't like they'll complain if you're rough. Bro. Well, ain't you a strong one? 4 in one trip. Reckon there's no need for me to lend you a hand with the rest, then? Bro. There's another Lalafell, Fallen Scion. I'm only seeing the back of this person. Looks like a higher human. Has a round shield on his back, dark armor all over his body. There's a Fallen Scion, kind of greenish, what's it called? Duster, or trench coat, and then some white kind of white shirt underneath. And then there's a fallen sylph, Neuraxia. And yeah, we're heading back to the cart. Disconcerted coachman. Come on, let's finish this before I die of old age. Bro, swear to God, I will kill you. If this game allows. That should be all of them. Thanks for the help. Reckon it won't take too long to deliver all the corpses to the lich yard. Even so, you might want to hurry back and tell them that our work here is done. I will. Right after I get done murdering you. Back to Camp Drybone via teleport. I got like 123,000 gold or gil right now, so I'm just probably gonna fast travel a lot. I do try to, if I can use my return or I can use my free teleport to Limsa Lominsa, I will, to make the cost lower. We're back to Elened outside the Church of Saint Adama Landama, or whatever it's called. I see that you decided to heed my advice. I pray that, in doing so, you found some small measure of peace. No, I wanted to murder the guy who's so flippant about the frickin' people that I work with. The first carriage from Vesper Bay arrived not long ago, and we have begun preparing your comrades for burial. I had a hand in the initial rites, and I would like you to know that for many, the death came quickly. Rest assured that we will treat them with the utmost respect, and do everything we can to shepherd them to Thal's realm. Bringing out the dead is now complete. Elened has the next quest, Bury Me Not on the Lone Prairie. Although we can perform rites for most of the scions, there is one whom we cannot accept. We would like you to return this one to her people, the Sylphs of Little Solace. It is only proper that she be given into the care of her friends and family, so that they may mourn her in accordance with Sylphic traditions. So for this, I will use my return to Gridania. And then I'll probably just warp from there to, teleport from there to the Hawthorne Hut. Hop on our Chocobo and head east, past all the giant gnats that look more like hornets. Some small weevils on the ground. The Ziz Gorlin that look kind of like the Spinosaurus that are kind of more bird-like. And into Little Solace with all the sylphs. And we're talking to Comuxio. This one is surprised to see Walking One in Little Solace. How can these ones assist Walking One? And I hand over Neuraxia's corpse. Neuraxia? But this one does not understand. Cutscene, fade to black. She's crying. Comuxio, this one is... Comuxio, this one has heard much wailing. This one would know what has caused such distress. The grandfatherly sylph has come up, Frixio. Terrible news, Elder One. Awful news, Comuxio says. Walking One has returned to Little Solace, but why? These ones have not requested further aid. You explain. Neuraxia, how did this happen? Explain everything to this one at once. Fade to black. So, not only Neuraxia, but many of Walking One's friends were lost as well. Neuraxia, says Comuxio. Neuraxia went to Thanolin at the behest of this one. Walking One was with Neuraxia at the end. Tell this one that Neuraxia was brave. Tell this one that Neuraxia did not suffer. You nod your head. This one is glad to hear Walking One's words. Thank you for bringing Neuraxia home, Walking One. These ones also wish to thank Praying Ones. Tell Praying Ones these ones will remember this kindness. This one demands vengeance. Imperial Ones must pay. Imperial Ones must suffer. When the time comes for walking ones to face Imperial ones, do not forget these ones. These ones would not have Neuraxia's death be for naught. These ones will fight. 345 to do that. Yeah. It's 120 for the airship, and I think after that it'd be like 160, so... No, I guess I would save 100 gil, but whatever. I wasn't doing the math well before I clicked it. Oh well. Back in Camp Drybone via teleport. Go up this wooden ramp that still is in disarray a little bit. Up this dirt pathway. Through a man-made arch, a very thin arch, but an arch nonetheless, into the graveyard, the Lich Yard, talking to El and Ed. We thank you for your service to the church and to the sylphs. You may be pleased to know that, in your absence, we interred the remaining scions in the Lich Yard. Perhaps you still wish to do more for your friends. If so, I would remind you that you have already done so much on their behalf. Please, take a rest and set aside your burdens for now, Mercy. Never. I'm going to take 2,500 gil for that reward. Our next quest starts inside the church. So we'll run in there, speak with Marquess. Eyes on me. I'm not imagining it, Mercy. I know I'm being watched. This is different, sinister, as if I am under observation. The feeling comes and goes, but I felt it when last I ventured outside. Yes, I know I felt it. Will you look outside for me, please? It will only take a moment. Hop on Jacobo, go outside, hop this wrought iron fence. Hop this other wrought iron fence. Boom. And there's a purple spot, purple black spot. It's our destination. We click it. It's on a grave site. It's on a grave. And an Imperial Frumentarius pops up. He is easily dispatched. At 45, what we got is basically a charge, or a dash, basically. 20 yard range. It's a jump, but you jump and you remain at the place that you jump to. You don't jump back afterwards like our normal 30-second cooldown jump. So naturally, I put it on T, which is always my dash button for any job that any class I play. Most games that I play, I have T as the dash, just because it's right next to my other movement abilities, or other movement keys. You were attacked, weren't you? Are you unharmed? Thank the gods. I knew it. He was watching me, but why was he watching me? What did he want with me? Did he perhaps know something of my past? If only I could have asked him. I need to think. Please, allow me a moment alone. Wait, Father Iliad must hear of this. Will you tell him for me? It's important. I think others may come for me again. Let's speak with Iliad. Heavens forfend that such a thing should happen upon unholy ground. Do you have any idea who this man was? Did you notice anything distinctive about his garb or possessions? You hand over an Imperial short sword. This is Garlean steel, which means the man who was watching Marquess was. Make haste, Camp Drybone, at once. We must summon the immortal flames before more Imperials come. Okay. Strength, no. 2,500 more gil as my reward. Cutscene fade to black. Alphino comes walking into the church door. Slow and steady.
I fondly hoped that I might be the first to speak with you. Would that I had been so fortunate. At ease, adventurer. I come not on behalf of the Empire. On the contrary, I mean to revive the scions of the Seventh Dawn. And to that end, I have come in search of a legend. The greatest engineer of our time, Master Sid Garland. I have come for you.
He's looking at Marquess.
I fear you are mistaken, child. He is but a poor soul who bore witness to the horrors at Cartano. I beg of you, leave us in peace.
Wait,
Marquez falls to his knees in one hand.
Hear me, Cid. Eorzea needs you.
He is in distress. His hand is to his head on the outside of his hood. He stands up slowly. Kind of takes a few shambling steps toward Alphino. His steps grow a little bit more sure, but turns back to Iliad. Iliad smiles. Iliad walks kind of to the side of the church a bit and comes back with a box and a mallet. Because all engineers need mallets.
Cid, was it? Here. These belong to you.
I'm very funny.
I thought you bore the mark of greatness. It seems that I was right. Our time together was all too brief, but it felt as though my son had returned to me. You have brought joy to an old man's life. But it is time for you to help those who truly need you.
Cid picks up the mallet. It's a black mallet. Looks like it's very well crafted.
Who are you? Alphino Leveilleur, at your service.
Leveilleur.
As a scion of the Seventh Dawn, I stand against our primal and imperial foes, as my grandfather once did. 'Tis no secret what befell our order at the Waking Sands. Word has already spread across Eorzea. The repercussions are far greater than you realize. In the wake of the calamity, the three city-states focused their efforts solely on reconstruction, leaving the scions to combat the primal threat unaided. And lo, we are all but destroyed. Yet even as the nations mourn our demise and abandon what little hope they have left, we cannot forsake our duty, now least of all. The Ixal have summoned
Oh shoot, the Ixal summoned Garuda. My bad.
Her appetite for destruction far exceeds that of other primals.
Probably she's growing stronger as we speak. You guys can read it if you can. I mean, I can't anymore. I was messing with
Worse, in her present incarnation, our Baldessian colleagues believe she surpasses both Ifrit and Titan in strength.
I was messing with the levels of my microphone because it seemed to be picking up my heater, which I don't want people to have to listen to the heater. Anyway.
Yet, therein lies an opportunity. Were we somehow to defeat Garuda, it would serve as a warning to the other beast tribes that even their mightiest gods can be felled. If we are to face our foe, we must first circumvent the tempest that shields her sanctuary. And for that, we need an airship. Your airship, Cid.
I have an airship?
Yes, Cid, you do. Your very own airship. It was last seen in the skies over Gridania, not long before the calamity. So let us begin our search there.
An airship? My airship? Oh, wait.
He gets on a knee, picks up the chest and the mallet, and fade to black. Come back, and he is garbed in. He's still got the goggles on his forehead. He's got white hair that falls down just past his ears.
Come, let us put an end to the primals. Together, we will show the world that the Scions are still a force to be reckoned with.
He has a white shirt on that I believe comes just down to almost his elbow in the sleeve area. It's got black buttons down the center. He's got dark black pants. It's got, actually, it doesn't have buttons. It has like it's open. It's kind of open chested. It kind of comes down in a V to the like basically middle of the pecs, and then has a little bit of an open chest with. He's got a necklace of gold.
They need my airship. They need me.
Kind of like a gold scarab, at the end of a gold chain on his neck. And then there's some black kind of vest, leathery stuff in the middle of the shirt. So the shirt is open in the chest, in the middle, like near the sternum and down to the stomach. Actually, the shirt, the sleeves only come down to like maybe a couple inches down his arm. We can do the next quest, I think. Iliad, he who waited behind. What a curious twist of fate that Master Sid Garland would at last be found within our church. It defies imagination. Beg your pardon, Mercy. You wish to find his airship, yes? I know not how much truth there is to it, but there is a tale known as the final flight of the Enterprise, which grew popular in the wake of the calamity, much like the Great Gubu Wall of Ulda. It states that the Enterprise flew northwest from Gridania toward Querthus. If true, the airship would have passed through the North Shroud, likely over Falgord Float, the closest settlement to Querthus. Maybe the Serpents stationed there have records of the events that transpired that day. I had hoped you might rest from your journeys for a time, but I see that the world still has need of you and the Scions. Pray look after yourself and Sid, Mercy. Alright, 25 seconds until I can use return again to go back to Gridania. From there to Falgord Float. Falgord Float. Basically, I have 5,000 gil just sitting in my pocket waiting to be turned into gil. Return to Gridania. My neck is being something fun today, I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah, I don't mind spending an extra 80 gil to avoid having to run through this town a little bit. So teleport to Falgord Float. Hop back on Chocobo. Hop on the banana bus. Banana boat. To the west into this hut where the Serpent Sergeant is. Aethelmer. Is there aught I can assist you with, miss? The Enterprise? You speak of Master Garland's ship? Yes? Aye, I needn't refer to the records. I know that the airship was sighted overhead 5 years ago, clearly bound for Querthus. What became of it after that, I cannot say. If you wish to know more, pray speak with Vortefort at Florentel's Spire. He was on duty that day and saw it with his own eyes. I am unsure what it is you hope to accomplish, though. Even should you locate the ship, would you not need a man of Master Garland's caliber to fly it? I hear tell that the machinery is fiendishly complex. If you only knew who was just revived from his memories and possibly a little bit of PTSD that wiped out those said memories. Vortefort. V-O-R-T-E, Vorta, F-A-U-R-T, Vortefort, is at a tower outpost here to the west. You have come in search of Vortefort, then well met, for you have found him. Indeed, I have served as a whaler for many years, since before the great snows came to Querthus. What exactly is this about? Ah, the final flight of the Enterprise. I do indeed remember that day. Let's do the next one, whatever. Cold reception. It was on the eve of the Battle of Cartano, nigh on 5 years ago. I held the spire alone that night, while the bulk of our forces marched to meet the enemy in the field. Then, all of a sudden, the most fantastic airship I'd ever seen splits the sky overhead. I could only watch in shock as it disappeared over the mountains to the northwest. If the Enterprise wasn't destroyed during the calamity, I'd wager it's still somewhere in Corthus. The astrologians at the observatorium may have records which could help, but to obtain them, you would need to deal with the Ishgardians who control the region. I wouldn't expect much, though. The high houses have long been concerned with their own affairs above all else. When Dalama descended, they took shelter behind their gates, and even now they have little regard for the plights of other nations. Nevertheless, they may deign to assist you should you prove yourself useful. Consider proving your services to the soldiers who guard the observatorium. Though they may refuse you at first, I have little doubt they would accept aid freely offered. Okay. Also in Corthus, I can do the Going for Gold quest, which will unlock a dungeon. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that first. That just requires hooking a kind of wide U to the west. So north, north, northwest, northwest, west, northwest, west. I sort of started to sound like a computer there. Getting aggro from a spiked lizard, a spiked armored lizard. Aggro from a mud puppy, which looks like a toad, sort of. If you mixed a toad with a lizard, it's a pretty good descriptor, I would say. And then there's a cave ahead to the southwest. And there's an iron gate. And Willie Elmus is one of the guards with Pierre Lemons. Hail, adventure! Wait, do not tell me Nedrick sent you. Tell me this, adventure. Do you know how the Aurum Vale earned its most enticing name? Well, allow me to enlighten you. The cave is rich with sulfur and mithril ore, which, through reactions with the groundwater, combine to exude golden-hued fumes. A beautiful sight, that is, until you realize the damned death clouds are burning your chest from within. If you still wish to take your life in your hands, I'll not be the one that stops you, but do try not to get killed. I've dragged enough corpses out of the Vale to last me a lifetime. Oh wow, I did not know this was gonna happen. I can get a ring with 5 strength and 9 direct hit rate. It's pretty good. Oh gosh, or 2,500 gil. Damn. Yeah, I'll go with the ring. I can't wear it for 2 more levels, but... The Aurum Vale is now accessible. What I'm gonna do is run over to turn in this quest the Cold Reception. Take a short break, probably use the restroom, maybe watch a little bit of TV. I'm still watching the For All Mankind on Apple TV. Kind of like an alternate history, like what would happen if the Soviets. Well, I'm not gonna spoil the premise because it's an interesting. I didn't expect it because I didn't read ahead. But anyway, it's good. Didn't know much about it. I'd saved it to my favorites as like a show to watch because I have this free, almost 2.5 months of free Apple TV thanks to Bumble. But yeah, it's good. I like it. I can't spoil much of anything, so I'm not going to. Fate joined. How much time? 14 minutes? Oh yeah, let's do this. I still need this stuff. Let's bring out our Chocobo. Killing a bunch of snow wolf pups, but they are full-on wolves. They're not pups. It is tough to position them. Cool. Done and done. How are we doing on my companion? About 2/3 of the way to the next rank. Ludovoy. Ludo. Ludo. Voix. Ludovoy? Excuse me, can you repeat that? You wish to offer your services to House Durlender? Durendaire? Durlender? And what, pray tell, do you wish to receive in exchange? Ha! How absurd! As if we would permit an outsider to peruse the records of the observatorium. Do not mistake our courtesy for friendliness. The Holy See of Ishgard may allow foreigners to travel freely within these lands, but we do not intend to offer succor to strangers. Do I have level 35 gear, or level 35 chest gear for my paladin when he gets up there? No. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, that is the end of this video. I will do the dungeon with a group, I think, because it's just faster that way. And then continue the storyline. But I'll be right back. Later.